proceeds to check the mermaid's gills in the lewdest way possible. Saphantite restraining the princess centaur in a really uncomfortable and inappropriate way.
Oh my goodness! When a genius doctor always gets girls as his patient.
Several hundred years ago, there was a war between all of the humans and monsters in the world.
Okay.
The war lasted for over 100 years, and all of them fought for so long that by the end of it, they don't even remember what they were fighting for.
Dang.
So, when the war finally ended, they decide that since they don't even know the reason they were fighting, they should just live in peace instead. And just like that, peace between humans and monsters is established.
Okay.
Several years later, a human, Dr. Glenn Litbait, and his half-snake assistant, Saphantite Nakes, are two doctors specializing in treating monsters.
Okay.
Both of them are extremely proficient doctors.
Why does she have a sleeve on? Like, look at this. There's literally a sleeve. There's a sleeve on her tail. Like, is that swag? Is that designer, bro? Is that designer, dude?
However, Dr. Glenn is a bit too serious in his profession. The man doesn't care to what lengths he has to go to in order to get his patients healthy, and when it comes to decency, he doesn't care at all if it heals his patients. After checking for lumps on a lady minotaur's bare chest, despite there being a lady doctor on site, Glenn declares that the woman was actually sick because she was pregnant. He quite rightly shares his name with Glenn Quagmire from the Family Guy.
I'm sorry. Glenn Quagmire? This video is not gonna end up good, bro.
Also, for some reason in this universe, all the male monsters are actually monsters, but the female ones are beautiful women who are only half monsters.
Okay.
Seems kinda sus. After finishing up with the checkups at his clinic, Glenn receives a letter from his master, Dr. Cthulhu, who tells
Dr. Cthulhu, hold on, who is this? Dr. Cthulhu? Wait, like Cthulhu? Oh, nah.
who tells him to visit the nearby arena so that he can check up on her patients while she is away.
Okay.
Cthulhu is actually a half-human, half-octopus female who is also a famous doctor in the region. While Glenn is excited to help out his master, Saphantite is not too happy. She has a crush on Glenn and doesn't like him getting attached to his female patients, and Glenn always has a lot of female patients.
Okay.
When the two doctors reach the arena, they find out that the patients are female athletes who compete in the tournaments in the arena. One of these patients is Thessalia Scythia, a centaur who is the sole heiress of Scythia transportation. As Glenn proceeds to examine Thessalia, he realizes that she has nothing wrong with her and is perfectly fine.
Oh my goodness! If you can see it from the front, God! Damn! Now that's a real stallion. Holy crap!
Glenn gives her to leave and proceeds to check his other patients. After the whole day's work is done, however, just as they are leaving, Glenn is confronted by two of Thessalia's attendants. Kay and Lorna approach Glenn concerned. They tell them that there must surely be something wrong with Thessalia since she hadn't won a single match in the arena for the last month now.
It's because she's washed. I'm sorry to tell you, but she's washed. Like, she's just washed, bro.
They explain that she was extremely talented and also worked very hard. So it was off for her to be
Lynn
losing
type of
so many
performance,
matches.
man. It just happened for 2 seconds,
that
man.
never changes, it's Glenn's verdict, and
She
he
had
is
a
perfectly
quick
sure that Thessalia is all right. However, in order to reevaluate his conclusion, he goes to one of her matches. Thessalia loses one again to a cat woman, and this time, Glenn realizes what the issue was.
What's that?
The doctor never misses. Except for the fact that he missed it during the exam, but other than that, he never misses. That evening, as Thessalia is practicing for the next match, Glenn and two attendants approach her and apprehend her, with Saphantite restraining the princess centaur in—
Whoa! Wait, why did we just skip by this? He didn't even mention this part. Hello? Let's screen grab that real quick, though.
In a really uncomfortable and—
What the fudge? Screen grab that, too. Yo!
Appropriate way.
Yo!
For the next match, Glenn and two attendants approach her and apprehend her, with Saphantite restraining the princess centaur in a really uncomfortable and inappropriate way.
Oh my goodness! this? Like, brother, like, dude, why is he just, bro? I feel like this guy just skipped over, or this AI, whatever it is. He just skipped over the fact that she was just getting no clips. Yo, I need to stop seeing my clips on Twitter and stuff, bro. Like, if you're gonna put clips of me, put some funny stuff, like some me doing some funny stuff. Not me looking stupid. Come on now. The Huz are watching.
Is to put on some iron hooves onto Thessalia's feet.
Okay.
She had been very full of her royal heritage and had refrained from using iron hooves, which is why her balance was off and she was losing the match. Thessalia is pretty angry at them for interfering, but immediately, the next day, she wins a match at the stadium after 10 consecutive defeats.
So she needed new shoes for a...
You all are probably wondering how a snake monster and a regular human became friends and colleagues.
That just
Turns out that during the war, Saphantite was brought into Glenn's family as a hostage so that her family wouldn't go back on the deal they had made with the humans.
Okay.
During this time, the two became really good friends until when the war was over and she was returned back to her home. Later, by fortune or by luck, the two ended up going to the same college of medicine and reconnected once more.
Okay.
One day, Dr. Glenn and Dr. Saphantite go shopping on the narrow waterways, built by the dragon lady Scotty Dragonfelt. The whole city is basically a copy of Venice and is built over a large body of water. They have to travel through the town in boats, and the two do exactly that.
Okay.
Saphantite, who is clearly in love with Glenn,
is killing me,
is very happy that they came together for shopping. But for Glenn, this is nothing but a short trip to get some supplies. Just as the two get to the shop, right up...
What the fuck is that? No, don't let that slip by me. What's in your hand, buddy? Yeah. Let's, what's that? Looks like a booty plug to me. I'd say so myself. I'm just saying.
Right outside, a mermaid lady starts calling them a cute couple and calls them towards her.
They're shipping
Saphantite is excited by her calling them lovers and forces Glenn to take her to the mermaid. The mermaid, Lulala, turns out to be a singer who sings for lovers and people who pay her.
That is the weirdest looking mermaid I've ever seen. An orange bottom, like a yellow bottom. That looks like a fucking Pokemon bottom. Like, this is like, that is a very interesting setup there, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I've only seen mermaids with bright colors, you know? This is dope. We're getting new mermaid DLC. I fuck with it.
But she emphasizes lovers. Clearly, she was a better businessman. Glenn, realizing something wrong, requests a song, but only pays her 2 copper coins instead of 3, offering her a free checkup instead of the 3rd copper coin.
A free checkup,
Just as Glenn predicted, the girl cannot complete the entire song and starts coughing midway through.
Oh, shoot.
What a scam.
Yeah.
However, it turns out that she had some sort of disease. Glenn diagnoses her and notices blisters.
What is that in the back of her throat? Or is that just regular canker sores, right? No, that's herpes. I know what I'm talking about. That's herpes. But it might be the good, like, cold sore herpes. But that's herpes. That's herpes. I know what I'm talking about.
Inside her mouth. Glenn then proceeds to check the mermaid's gills in the lewdest way possible.
Hey, yo!
Is that really the way? Isn't there supposed to be a piece of equipment for this?
Brother!
Anyways, he finds out that Lulala was
this scene looks insane.
Spending too much time outside of water, which is why she had been suffering from inflammation of her gills.
Oh my goodness! Those were gills. YouTube, those were gills. Those were gills.
And was unable to perform better outside of water. Lulala tells them that since her father had gone missing, she was forced to work 12 hours a day, and thus was unable to spend much time in the water. Just then, a human boy falls into the river. And midway through their conversation, Lulala jumps in to save the kid. By the time she comes out with the kid, she is so tired. As the doctors give the kid CPR, Lulala slips into the water once more. However, she begins drowning instead.
Nigga, you're a fucking mermaid. How the fuck are you drowning? She has gills. Am I tripping? He was just fingering the gills. He was just fingering it like this. Okay, no clips. You get what I was literally just giving a description of what happened, bro.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A mermaid starts drowning in water.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was
realizing this, Glenn jumps into the water to save Lulala,
I'm about to
kissing
die.
her to force air into her body, making her gills work again. The two of them are then rescued by Saphantite, who uses her long tail to pull them out of the water.
Why don't we just use the fucking... Is that a spider? Hell no! Please don't tell me that's a main character. I'm not looking.
Days later, it turns out that Lulala is just fine now. She has even gotten a job in the city council hall in Narrow Waterways and gets to sing there every day, earning her more than enough money for her family.
W.
After all the gill testing that Glenn had done, Lulala appears to have developed a crush on the doctor.
Okay.
There certainly is magic in his hands. Somewhere in Narrow Waterways, a woman is seen chasing some bandits.
Okay.
She chases the men around the streets when suddenly she gets ambushed.
That's not good.
The next day, after Glenn and Saphantite finish treating a slime girl, who looks a bit too attractive for a slime, they are approached by Lady Scotty and her boyfriend.
What's the beauty standard for a fucking
Scotty
slime?
is a half-dragon, half-human girl, while her servant, according to her, is a human golem made from several hundred parts of humans mixed together.
Okay.
She was basically a Frankenstein's monster. Scotty spoke in a real low voice, and so Kunai spoke for her.
Yeah.
Basically, the fight that happened last night was between Kunai and some bandits, and during this fight, she had lost an arm.
Yeah,
Scotty wanted
gone.
the doctors to find her arm and attach it back together. Immediately, when Scotty leaves, Kunai
Nigga, do I look
refuses
like a
Glenn's
detective?
help.
You
She
find the
has
arm,
had
but
a
I'll put it
fair
back.
share of doctors in her life who seem to have given her plenty of bad memories, and thus she hates doctors in general.
Oh, shit.
Casually disregarding the fact that Saphantite was a doctor too, she tells Glenn to stay away from her and that she will look for her hands on her own.
Okay.
Once again, as Kunai walks the streets, she realizes that the same bandits who had ambushed her were also there and decides to follow them.
Damn, look at that
In
furry
an
dude.
absolute facepalm subreddit postable moment, she gets ambushed once more, this time losing a leg instead.
Wait, why was it okay, it was just gory. That's why it was a subreddit moment. I got scared for a second of what was about to happen to her. I'm gonna be real.
Glenn, being the committed doctor he is, goes out looking for Kunai's arm when he runs into Tasalia, who finds Kunai's leg. Glenn starts examining the leg and realizes that the stitches that were made in the leg were actually made by amateurs.
Okay.
Glenn thinks that perhaps the people who had made her were not even doctors at all. He then heads further into town where he runs into Lulala, who has Kunai's arm.
Oh, wow.
She hands the arm to the doctor and tells him that, perhaps, he could use the hand and leg that he had acquired to find its owners.
Okay.
Elsewhere, Kunai drags herself to a nearby wall. She is a bit too frustrated for losing both her leg and her arm. However, that was never her issue. Her main problem was that she could still hear the voices of all the people whose body parts were used to create her.
Oh, shit. She still sees the shadows in her room, man. I had to add the laugh track because I know you laughed.
Glenn finds her struggling and, despite her protests, insists that he wants to reattach her parts.
Ooh,
The doctor puts on his glasses and not only stitches back her body parts, but also attaches all of the blood vessels properly throughout her body.
Wow, nigga just did that on the street. Nigga just did that in a random alleyway and it just worked. All right, you know what I'm saying? Whatever works, works. Whatever works, Doc. Thanks, Doc. Thanks for doing this quick repair of me in this random alleyway. Like, brother, like this makes no sense. No surgery, no nothing, just straight on the side.
Explaining to her that this was probably causing the voices in her head since she didn't feel the body parts as her own. Like every other patient till now,
Whatever that means.
Kunai also gets suspiciously aroused while she gets her treatment from the doctor. After Glenn is finished, which, well, why wouldn't he be, Kunai thanks him despite her hate for doctors, believing that Glenn is something different.
Wow, nice guy.
Back at the clinic, one of Saphantite's
Okay, so that's a spider, and I'm terrified of those things. I'm terrified of seeing them. I used to have a girl back in the day kill the spiders for me in Minecraft. I'm not joking. This is a real story. I put that on everything I love. This next scene, I might struggle a little bit to watch. I might have to skip it. I'm just letting you know the noises and the things that I'm hoping this is a very brief moment. Okay, I'm sorry in advance that I might screech a little bit.
drinking buddies finds a harpy egg and leaves it with her.
Okay, it's just her
Saphantite
titties.
tries to pull and prank and tell the doctor that she was pregnant.
What?
But Glenn is too hard to fool when it comes to any form of medical information.
Okay, good. The spider's not involved.
Saphantite reveals that she was actually hiding an abandoned harpy egg that was given by one of her friends. Her friend had told her that she had found the egg abandoned in the street. Glenn then tries to examine the egg and finds that it was actually an unfertilized egg.
Okay.
Just then, several bandits approach the clinic and attack it directly from the main door. All of the bandits are regular humans, and thus it doesn't really take much for Saphantite to make quick work of the ones that had attacked them.
Mad easy.
When more bandits start arriving, the two doctors...
These niggas got a fucking heat sensor in that bitch. Niggas playing Call of Duty. What the heck?
rush outside and run into Kunai. She explains that the bandits were actually slaves.
Is that something Valkyrie in WWE, bruh? Dang it, bruh, I messed up the fucking joke.
Who had been capturing harpy birds and making them lay eggs and selling those eggs to the highest and filthiest bidders on the black market.
Lyra!
The doctors ask
Valkyrie!
for the city council's protection, but everyone is busy with their mission of taking down the slavers at the moment, so they have no choice but to join Kunai on the mission. Scotty and Lulala also join them on the waterways. Lulala had been given the job in the city council so she could help out undercover,
I love how they made the water
and
clear.
This was her first ever mission.
They made the water
Suddenly,
clear enough.
They are attacked by archers, but fortunately for them, Tissalia was nearby, and she fights them off.
Okay, W.
As Kunai and Tissalia deal with the bandits on the outside, the doctors rush in alongside Scotty and find the harpies that were captured by the bandits.
Okay.
All of them seem to be fine. However, one of the harpies has an impacted egg from stress. Scotty and Saphantite decide that Glenn should work on the harpy to save her while they fight off any approaching bandits. Glenn immediately goes to work and helps the clearly uncomfortable harpy try and deliver the egg without it causing any complications.
What?
As Saphantite fights off the approaching bandits, she remembers the time back when they were children and how her family had actually chosen her as a hostage so that she could assassinate Glenn's entire family if the deal went wrong with the humans.
Okay, what the fuck? Is he giving strokes?
Delivered safe and sound.
Yo, what is this show, bro? Like, what is going on? What is going on?
Saphantite gets struck by a knife dipped in poison, and she passes out mid-battle.
Oh no.
Saphantite awakens soon, however, as the slavers didn't use poison strong enough for a literal monster.
Yeah, that probably...
The bandits living in a world of monsters, they were a little too unprepared for their own job.
Yeah.
Glenn explains the slavers were arrested, and the harpy laid her egg safely. After hearing that everything had worked out for the better, Saphantite decides to admit the truth to Glenn, but in return, Glenn reveals that he actually knew already about Saphantite's plan, as even his family had done some really intense background research about her when she had arrived at their place.
Dude, these fucking
motions.
Despite
knowing that she was there to kill them, Glenn had decided to be her friend. This makes Saphantite so happy that she rips open her clothes and attempts to seduce the doctor.
Wait, what? How do we get here? Wait, how do we get here?
But before she could go on further...
Is he tied up?
...and turn this into a demonetized video, she passes out.
Oh, okay.
Once again, Dr. Cthulhu...
I forgot about Dr. Cthulhu. Squidusy, man. My fault. I apologize. My outburst was not correct. I apologize.
Asks her two apprentices to go ahead and visit the Harpy's town to provide medical attention to the locals there. Tissalia, who appears to have decided on marrying Glenn, offers her help to transport them to the village herself. As she drags their carriage through the mountains, a rock slide suddenly occurs. Kay and Lorna jump in to save their mistress, and Kay ends up injuring herself. Glenn quickly comes out to give some medical attention, but Kay cannot walk at all. Fortunately, some male harpies arrive just in time.
You know what? I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not even going to mention
Kay to their village by air, while the rest of the group gets there as well. At the village, the super Dr. Glenn gets to check the injury properly and finds out that it's only a minor sprain that will go away after a few days of rest.
Oh, a sprain. I was about to say, if she broke her ankle and she's going to get revived in 2 days, bro, she got some crazy... The NBA players need whatever she's on.
After treating the centaur...
She's also a horse.
Glenn still doesn't get any rest. Pretty much every single person in the village has one issue or another and shows up at the temporary clinic.
Wait, are those
that they
dudes?
established.
We don't do those. We don't do those at this establishment.
There. After finishing...
They gotta be shorties with gills. Okay, that was a reference to the other earlier in the video if you weren't paying attention, okay? Don't think that was...
Day's checkups, Glenn goes out for some fresh air and meets up with Lorna, who seems a bit out of place.
Damn, that's a nice mountain.
She tells him that she was there with Tissalia, but her mistress is nowhere near.
Yeah.
Due to Kay's injury, she has become extremely distracted and had also almost ruined Tessalia's negotiations to employ the harpies as air couriers.
Okay.
Worried about her attendant, Tessalia goes to Glenn and asks him to examine Lorna.
Okay.
Glenn struggles to know where to start, as Lorna doesn't have any physical ailments and rather suffers from a psychological issue. He discusses the issue with Saphantite,
So what is he, a
who
therapist
tells
now?
him that perhaps Lorna has a domination complex and needs to be controlled so that she feels safe and comfortable.
What the nigga, what type of doctor are you? What? Nigga, are you a doctor or a therapist? And what type of domination needs to be done? Like, I thought you do physical surgeries and shit. How did you get to that conclusion? You freaky fuck?
In an attempt to heal the centaur, Glenn then pulls out a trick straight from one of the felony's books of assault, tying her up from head to toe and blindfolding her as well. Surprisingly, Lorna immediately feels better as she is more able to focus on her job.
Nigga, what's going
Glenn
on with my
privately
doctor?
thinks Lorna might simply enjoy being tied up. As thanks, Kay and Lorna try to seduce Glenn together. The two ladies tell Glenn that their mistress wished to marry him, and if she did so, they were also his property.
Whoa!
The two of them forget all boundaries and try pressuring Glenn into sleeping with them,
Whoa!
but Glenn is quick to refuse. Kay and Lorna, however, still hope Glenn becomes their master as well one day. Thanks for watching part 1.
Yo, what the fudge, bro? And there's another one of those anime reviews, man. If you want more, put Dr. Balls in the comments, bro. I know y'all want more of this, bro. They've been going good, bro.